Hey everyone, so today we are going to see steps that will help you to find eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So if you recall my last lecture, link is there in the description. So if you recall that lecture, then in that lecture we saw the notion of eigenvalues and eigenvectors, and then we saw some examples of linear transformation, and by simply looking at the linear transformation we found or we tried to guess the eigenvalues and eigenvectors. But is that always possible? Answer is no. We don't have such good transformation always. So for example, if you have t of say x, y, z from R3 to R3 as suppose say 7x plus 14y plus say pi z, then ex e into x plus 17y plus 17z and 14x plus 23y plus 10 raised to 7z. Suppose if you have such kind of transformation, then question is what are eigenvalues and eigenvectors? So as I told you, so it's difficult to find through linear transformation. I mean by simply looking at the linear transformation. Then how do you find eigenvalues, eigenvectors? Now here comes the matrices into the picture. Okay, so it will rescue you from this thing. So it will help you to find eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So that we will see now in a moment. And while doing this, you have to observe one thing. See, while defining the notion of eigenvalue, eigenvector, we first define eigenvector. So t of v is lambda v, and that lambda we called as the eigenvalue. So while defining, we first define eigenvector and then we say that corresponding lambda is the eigenvalue. But while finding, we first find the eigenvalue and then we find the eigenvectors. So that's another thing you are going to observe. Okay, so now let me give a little bit idea about eigenvalue, eigenvector on how to find, and then I will write down the precise steps. So suppose V is your real vector space. Well, all this theory works over complex number or over any arbitrary field, but let me stick to real numbers. So if you have a linear transformation from V to V, and suppose your V is n dimensional space, so dimension of V is n. Then if you recall my previous lecture on how to find matrices corresponding to linear transformation, so using that technique you find the matrix for this transformation. So you can take the standard basis if the basis is not given in the question. So you take the standard basis and you find the matrix corresponding to this linear transformation. And what will be the order of this matrix? It will be a matrix of order n cross n, because the dimension is n. Okay, so now we have a matrix A. Now what was the notion of eigenvalue, eigenvector? It was TV equal to lambda V. This was in terms of linear map. Now for this linear map we have a matrix A. So therefore this will get changed to your AV equal to lambda V. So this is what the definition sometimes you see of eigenvalues and eigenvectors in terms of matrices. So some authors, like if you see some book, they directly start with the notion of eigenvalues, eigenvectors without stating the notion of linear transformation. So that time they only say A is a matrix. But now, once you do engineering, so first you study linear transformation and then you know that how to go from linear transformation to matrices. So you do that procedure and then you have a matrix, and then this is the definition of an eigenvector and the eigenvalue in terms of matrices. This is when you know a linear transformation. Okay, so that is one thing. Now see how to find eigenvalue, eigenvector. So now you can take this on the left hand side. So t of v bar minus lambda v bar equal to 0 bar. If I take out v bar outside, is equal to 0 bar. Now see, here you have to be a bit careful. Your A is a matrix of order n cross n. Your lambda is a real number. So this subtraction does not make sense. So when you are taking out this vector outside, this is I times the vector. Okay. And now this makes sense because this is a matrix. This is an identity matrix of order n. So this subtraction is again a matrix of order n. So therefore now this makes sense. So now what you have? You have a system like this is a matrix of order n and this is a vector of order n cross n, right? So this is an n cross n matrix. This is n cross 1 vector. This is also n cross 1 0 vector. Now we know that V is the non-zero eigenvector. Okay. So now since this is a matrix, if the determinant of this matrix is non-zero, if the determinant is non-zero, that means what? This is an invertible matrix. As soon as it becomes invertible, you can multiply by inverse. So what you get? You get V bar equal to 0 bar. Because when I multiply by inverse, this becomes identity. So I have only V bar, and here A inverse this into 0 bar, inverse of this into 0 bar is 0 bar. So if the determinant is non-zero, then you get a zero eigenvector, but eigenvectors are always non-zero. So therefore this has to be non-invertible. Now when this matrix is non-invertible, when the determinant is 0. Okay, so our job is to find lambda such that determinant of A minus lambda I is 0. Then only we will get a non-zero eigenvector. If the determinant becomes 0, then we get a non-zero eigenvector. Okay, so that's why you will many times you will see this equation. You have to solve this equation. Why? Because of this reason. You need to find lambda such that the determinant is 0. Then only you will have a non-zero eigenvector. Okay, so that's how this equation comes into picture. So, and this is the reason behind that. Okay, now let me write down the steps on how to find eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So here are the steps to find eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So first thing is you find the determinant of A minus lambda I. So if the matrix is directly given to you, you directly find this determinant. If a linear map is given to you, you find the matrix corresponding to that linear map, and then you find determinant of A minus lambda I. For finding that matrix, if the ordered bases are given to you, use that basis. If that is not given to you, you can take the standard basis and then you find the matrix. Okay, so once you have the matrix, you find determinant of A minus lambda I. When you find this determinant, you will get an expression in terms of lambda, or to be precise, you will get a polynomial in lambda, and that's why I'm calling this term as P of lambda. It's a polynomial in lambda, and this equation, this polynomial is called as a characteristic polynomial. Okay, so this is a nice polynomial, that's why we are giving it a name, and the name is characteristic polynomial. Now you equate this polynomial to 0. So since we are equating, so therefore now this is called as characteristic equation. Now since this is a polynomial, it's an equation, so you try to solve this, you will get the roots of this equation, and I'm calling that roots as lambda 1, lambda 2 and so on. If it's of degree n, you will get n, at most n roots. Okay, so these are what my eigenvalues are, because lambda was nothing but the eigenvalue. So the roots of the characteristic equations are nothing but the eigenvalues. Okay, and now once you have the eigenvalues, you plug in that eigenvalues one by one. So you take lambda 1 and you have this system, you solve this, you get V bar. Then you take lambda 2, you put over here, you solve this system, you find V bar. So you put one by one the eigenvalues and you get the corresponding eigenvectors. So just keep these steps in mind and your job will be very easy. Okay, now let us see couple of examples. So let's take an example that we have seen earlier. So in my previous lecture, by looking at the transformation and the line y equal to x, we try to visualize. But if I want to solve by this method, then how will I solve? So that's what I'm going to do now. So the first thing is what? You need to find the matrix A. So now here the matrix is not given to you directly. So the first thing is you will find the matrix. So you take the standard basis. So what are the standard basis for R2? It is E1, E2. What is E1? 1, 0. What is E2? 0, 1. So now what is T of E1? Your T of E1 is nothing but T of 1, 0, which is nothing but 0, 1, which is nothing but 0 times E1 plus 1 times E2, because this is E2 only. Similarly, what is T of E2? It is nothing but 1 times E1 plus 0 times E2. Fill in the blanks. Okay, and therefore what is the matrix? You write down the coordinate vector. So T of E1 is the first column, T of E2 is the second column. For this also I have recorded a lecture. You will find the link in the description. Okay, so what is this? This is nothing but 0, 1 and 1, 0. So this is the matrix corresponding to this linear transformation. Okay, so if the matrix is not given to you, your first step will be to find that matrix. Okay, so now we have a matrix. Now let's first find the characteristic polynomial. So how do you find characteristic polynomial? So P of lambda is determinant of A minus lambda I. So A is here minus lambda I. So you do the subtraction and you find the determinant of this, which is lambda square minus 1. So what is the characteristic polynomial? This is the characteristic polynomial. It usually happens that people say this equal to 0 is a polynomial. No, equal to comes means it's an equation. So this is the polynomial, and now you solve this polynomial. So you get characteristic equation, and therefore the eigenvalues are 1 and minus 1. So you have two eigenvalues for this linear transformation. Now let's find the corresponding eigenvectors. So let's take first the eigenvalue 1. Now for this you solve a minus lambda I. Okay, so what is a lambda? Lambda is 1. So lambda into I into v bar is 0. So you solve this a minus I. So this is my a minus I into v bar equal to 0. Once you reach till here, you apply your elementary row operations or column operations with whatever you are comfortable with. I usually play with row operations. So you do R2 changes to R2 plus R1. So when I do that, my second row becomes 0. This 0 bar means what? What is the 0 vector for R2? It is 0, 0. So here it is 0 bar, 0 bar, 0 bar. And then when you solve this, minus v1 plus v2 equal to 0. Now this is a number and this was a vector. See the difference. There is no bar over here. And what I get? v1 equal to v2. That means both the components are same. And so therefore, what is my v bar? It was v1, v2. You replace your v2 by v1. So we have v1, v1. You take out v1 outside. So what is v1? It is any non-zero real number because your eigenvectors are always non-zero. So you can see for lambda equal to 1, what are the eigenvectors? When both the components are same. And now if you recall my previous lecture, we took y equal to x line, and what we saw was you take any vector on y equal to x line, it won't get reflect, right? It will stay there only. Therefore you take 1 1, its image is 1 1 only. You take 2 2, its image is 2 2 only. Okay, and that's what we saw. We saw that t of AA was AA only, so it is 1 times. So 1 was the eigenvalue, and the eigenvectors are the vectors on the line y equal to x line. So that's what we saw in the last lecture, and this is what we derived properly. Now let's do the same thing for minus 1. Or should I give you as a homework? Okay, so let me do shortly over here, but make sure you write it properly if you're confused. So you take minus 1, so this becomes plus I, and when you do this operation you get plus 1 plus 1. Here you do R2 minus R1, so this becomes 0 and you have 1 1. So you have v1 plus v2 equal to 0. So your v2 is say minus v1. So v2 is minus v1. You take out v1 outside, you have 1 minus 1. So what are the eigenvectors? The vectors which are lying on the line y equal to minus x. That means this line, the orthogonal line. And that's what we saw, right? If you take any vector over here, when you reflect along this line, it becomes here, it comes here. So like minus 1 1 will become 1 minus 1. It's nothing but multiplied by the minus sign. So for lambda equal to minus 1, you get the eigenvectors along y equal to minus x line. And these are the only eigenvectors. The eigenvectors on y equal to x line and y equal to minus x line. You take any other vector in this two-dimensional space for the given transformation, xy goes to yx. You take any vector over here, it is never an eigenvector. So for this transformation, only the vectors on y equal to x and y equal to minus x are the eigenvectors. Rest, none of the vectors are eigenvectors. Okay, now let me take one last example. So now this is a second example. Now here a matrix is directly given to you. Okay, and first step is you have to find the eigenvalues, or the first step is you have to find the characteristic polynomial. Okay, so P of lambda. Now keep one thing in mind. Whenever you have an upper triangular matrix, this is an upper triangular matrix. Whenever you have an upper triangular matrix or lower triangular matrix or diagonal matrix, for these three families, your eigenvalues are always the diagonal entries. Okay, for these three families, your eigenvalues are always the diagonal entries. It will come out. I mean, you try to find out. You will get lambda minus 1 into lambda minus 4 into lambda minus 6. Okay, so the characteristic polynomial is lambda minus the diagonal elements. So this is the characteristic polynomial. What is the characteristic equation? You take this equal to 0. That is the characteristic equation. You solve this, you get the eigenvalues. What are the eigenvalues? 1, 4 and 6. And now you do the same thing. First you play with lambda equal to 1. That means you solve the system. Which system? A minus lambda I into v bar equal to 0 bar. What is A minus lambda I. So 1 minus 1, 0, 2, 3, 0, 3, 5, 0, 0, 5. And V bar means what? Here V1, V2, V3 equal to 0 bar. What is the 0 bar in 3-dimensional vector space? R3, it is 0, 0, 0. And now from the last row, you get 5 times V3 equal to 0. So this implies your V3 is 0. From first or the second row, you get 2V2 plus 3V3 equal to 0. But your V3 is 0, so this goes away. So you get 2V2 equal to 0. So this implies your V2 is also 0. So what are the eigenvector for lambda equal to 1? So therefore for lambda equal to 1, you get eigenvector, your V bar, V1, 0, 0. Because your V2 and V3 is coming out to be 0. There is no condition on V1. So you write V1 as it is. My V2 and V3 are 0. This V1 is called as a free variable also many times. 1, 0, 0. So in 3-dimensional space, if I have x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, you take any vector on x-axis. This is minus x and this is plus x. You take any vector on x-axis is image under this map. What will be the map? Your x bar goes to a into x bar. That is the map. Okay. So under this transformation, so from R3 to R3, if you have a linear transformation, then the vectors on x-axis will be the same thing because the eigenvalue is 1. So if you take any vector on x-axis, so a into any vector on x-axis is what? The same vector. That is 1 times v. So that's how the vectors on x-axis will behave, because for lambda equal to 1, vectors on x-axis are acting as the eigenvectors. Now homework is, you will tell me what are the eigenvectors for lambda equal to 4 and lambda equal to 6. So you comment your answer in the comment section and tell me what are the eigenvectors for lambda equal to 4 and lambda equal to 6. You can write down the vectors and also tell me geometrically. Like for this one, eigenvectors were nothing but the x-axis. The vectors on the x-axis are the eigenvectors. Similarly, for 4 and 6, can you tell me which line passing through origin is acting as a eigenvector? So yeah, tell me that. And also if you have any other doubt, that also you can ask me in the comment section. So I hope you understood today's lecture. If yes, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.